Okay, we are now live. I just had to change the angle of my camera around. My name's Janine Mitchell. Good morning, everyone. We're going to wait for everyone to come into the room first and foremost. And then what I want you to do is pop your comments down. That would be great. And then we're going to go live and make a start in about 3 minutes, folks. So as soon as you're here, please let me know you're here. Please comment. Please say hello. And then we shall get cracking. We're going to get cracking at 8:30. If you can see me, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. That would be marvellous. Okay. Whoever's joined me, if you can just let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, that would be great. And then we will make a start at 8:30. I can see thumbs up. Thank you very much. How are we all this morning? I've got a fantastic weekend planned. I don't know about you lot. But in Manchester today, hello Gary, how are you? Nice to see you again. Thanks for your help yesterday. So it's sunny here today, which is making a change because last couple of days it's been absolutely lashing it down. So I've got a nice weekend planned. I don't know about you lot. Hopefully you're doing some nice stuff. I'm pleased to be representing the old 4N community this morning. Okay. Just gonna find this on. What I'm doing is I'm just finding you on here so I can see all the comments coming in, which I want to see. So, we are due to go live any moment. My computer's decided not to load, but that's fine. But we will do that momentarily. Okay. If you can just let me know that everything's okay with the sound and the video, that would be great, whoever's here. Can you all see and hear me okay? Because I'm just waiting for some comments to come up. Hello Renee, Renee's in the house. Nice to see you, my friend. Can you tell me, can you hear and see me okay, Renee? Just let me know, because I can't get this up on my looking and sounding fine. That's great, because for some reason I can't get the comments up. So I am supposed to go live now, but I'm just going to wait to load the comments. Thanks for the old thumbs up. That's always marvellous. Thank you very much. And I'm waiting. I'm just trying to find the comments here. Hello Annabelle, hello Rebecca, hello Sean. See, I want to take the comments. What I'm going to have to do, I think, is I'm going to have to read the comments from my phone and then take those off. Good morning, Sean. Because I'm aware of the time. We've gone 8:30 and we do need to start. See if I can just get onto here. Here we go. Right, okay. I found it. Fantastic. I'm going to take the comments off here now so I can just see me. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Rebecca. Good sound. That's good to hear. Okay, so it's 8:32. We're going to make a start. Good morning, everyone. My name is Janine Mitchell. My company's called Change for Success. And welcome to 4N Facebook TV Live. Okay, so we're now going to start not the 40-second round, but the 40-word round. Okay, so instead of 40 seconds, I want you to send me 40 words on the Facebook comments, and that's going to tell me a bit about you and your business. Okay, what I would recommend for future meetings is if you just literally cut and paste that information into there, and then we can just read it nice and easily. Okay, so your comments are going to take a moment or two to load. So while we're waiting for that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. So as I just mentioned, my name is Janine Mitchell. My company is called Change for Success. So what do? I help you achieve your optimum success in life and business. So I work with corporate clients and private clients, and I specialise in areas such as stress management and resilience training. I'm based in the Manchester area, and as I said before, it's sunny today. It has been a bit rainy the last couple of days. And I absolutely love what I do. I'm so passionate about what I do. My one-to-one clients could be anything from people suffering with depression, anxiety, stress, confidence, public speaking. I do also work via Skype and FaceTime, so I work from the comfort of my lovely office, which is where I am today. Okay, so let's check out some of your 40 words. Again, I can't see any at the moment, but hopefully they will come. Right, we can see one from Sian. So Sian, she helps businesses owners focus on what's important to them. That's fantastic. We've got Martin Warrilow in the house. Good morning, Martin. He's our warrior in the house. Hashtag. Good morning, Sue. Lovely Sue Lister. Thank you for joining as well. Renee Power, got to stick to time. Unfortunately, you have. Yes, got to stick to the old time. So we're going to just wait for a few more comments to come in so I can read what you do. Tell me about your business. Come on, people. This is your opportunity to tell me about you, because in a moment we're going to make a start. My computer's just still thinking about stuff. So what's everyone else doing with their weekend? Mine's looking good, obviously. Very excited about the weekend ahead. So keep those comments coming in. We're going to hopefully read some more before we get started, because I'm going to start in 1 minute. Yes, that's 1 minute. Thank you, Mr. Todd, sharing my video. That's fantastic. Get that shared, and then, as I say, we're going to make a start in a minute. So any more comments would be lovely to see before we start. Okay. Right, okay, I can't see many more. What I would say before we do make a start, I would love you to share this video far and wide. I've seen a couple of shares already. What people are going to listen to today, even if it's going to inspire, support one person, then I've done my job here today. So please do share within your communities, within Facebook pages. That would be fantastic. Okay, so we're now going to make a start. Okay, so as I mentioned, my name is Janine Mitchell. My company is called Change for Success. So it is now time for my foresight slot. This, remember, is not a sales pitch. No, no, no. But an interesting area or insight or expertise into any part of your life or business. Okay? So my foresight is titled How One Word Has Completely Changed My Life. Okay. So although I can see the comments that you're making today, I'm not going to be engaging with those comments now. I would appreciate you to carry on commenting, carry on interacting. Please do pop all those emojis in there throughout my foresight. That will be fantastic. But as you just place the comments in, I will reply to any messages and comments after the foresight. So let's make a start. So let's go back to the 20th of April 2008. I met this great guy, and we'll call him James for the purpose of this talk. So I fell for him hook, line and sinker. He was funny, he was engaging, he was charismatic. All my friends and family loved him. And I just imagined our future together. I imagined us getting married, having a big white wedding. I imagined us having children, having a great life together, going on amazing holidays. And everything was going along really well. He even got me a dog called Kelly. And he came at the right time. At that time in my life, I'd gone through a string of bad relationships. I was in a very stressful job. And my dad had recently been diagnosed with cancer. So he came at just the right time. So things progressed. We did have the odd argument, but that's normal in relationships, isn't it? We all have arguments. And by this time we were living together. Now, James was a chef, so he used to cook regularly, which was nice. However, he used to use every single pot and pan in the place. So it was usually my job as chief washer-upper to stand at the kitchen sink, washing all these pans up. And one day I just said to him, I said, look, do you need to use all these pans? It got on my nerves, to be honest with you. And next thing, he started shouting, swearing. I said, look, calm down, it's nothing to worry about. But he wouldn't do. Things escalated even further, and I got really scared and anxious, so I tried to leave the house, and he wouldn't let me leave. And things escalated. He started throwing things, and I was really scared, really worried, and I did finally manage to leave the house. I managed to grab my car keys, ran down the road, got into the car. Now, as I was scrambling to get the engine started, he was hammering on the window. I thought it was going to smash. Luckily, it didn't. So I drove off at speed. I drove to the nearest shop. I stopped and bought some cigarettes. And I sat in my car and smoked a cigarette. Now, I don't smoke anymore, you'll be pleased to know. But I smoked that cigarette. I was really emotional. And I just thought, I was just trying to process what had just happened. And I thought, you know what, I've got to end this. I can't carry on with this relationship the way it is. And especially what was happening in my life at the time as well. So it took me a long time to kind of calm down. I finally did. I calmed down, James calmed down, so I went back home. And as I got into the house, he was very apologetic. But as I did, my phone rang. I was just about to start this conversation with him about ending this relationship. My phone rang and it was my mum. Now, my mum was phoning regularly at the time, but the minute that phone went, I just knew something was wrong. So I spoke to my mum. She said, look, the nurses have been on at the hospital. They say we've got to get there quickly. So James said, look, forget what's happened. We need to get to the hospital quickly. We need to pick your mum up. So that's what we did. We drove to the hospital, took my mum down there. There's no easy way to say this, but later on that day, my dad passed away. So I put this incident out of my mind. James was extremely apologetic. I presumed it was an isolated incident. However, sadly, it wasn't isolated. These incidences became quite regular. And there was a constant chipping away at my self-esteem within that relationship. And there was a lot of psychological and emotional abuse going on. And the real abuse occurred where he was constantly wearing me down. The person who's supposed to love you is telling you you're worthless, and you start to believe it. And James was very much playing on my vulnerability at that time. I was going through a difficult time in my life, as I was saying before. The ironic thing was, at that time, I was working as a probation officer. Now, I specialised in working with high-risk offenders, mainly men. And my caseload generally consisted of drug dealers, murderers, lifers, sex offenders, and ironically, domestic violence offenders. Now, I would work with those men, see them week in, week out, and talk to them about all different forms of domestic abuse. I'd teach them how victims were affected. But ironically, I couldn't see that I was one of those victims within an abusive relationship. Now, James kept blaming everything outside of him, everything external to him. And he kept saying everything would change. He kept saying when we got married, things would change. When we had kids, things would change. When the business did well. Now, we all know about that. A lot of us are running our own businesses here. And, of course, I believed him. I kept hoping that things would change. And I couldn't see, ironically, what was going on. But when I saw one of these foresights that someone called Taz Thornton did a few months back, many of you all know Taz, she did a foresight like this where she talked about an abusive relationship, and something she said really resonated with me. She said it would have been easier if he'd have just punched me in the face. Now, I'm not justifying a black eye, obviously, but that would have gone within 3 to 4 days, and that would have given me the opportunity to go. I could have said, you know what, he's hit me now, he's punched me, something bad's happened, I can now leave this relationship. So that really resonated with me. So, as I say, he kept saying things would change when we got married. So we got engaged, and then the day of our wedding came. Now, our wedding day itself was absolutely fantastic. Well, I organised it, so it was great. And we got married in a big church in front of all our friends and family. I had a beautiful big white dress on. We had a wonderful wedding reception afterwards, and James was fantastic. He was the life and soul of the party. Everyone loved him. He was telling everyone how amazing I was. He did a fantastic speech. And I thought, wow, this is it. Things have finally changed. He kept saying things would do from this point onwards. So all our friends were there, as I say, including a friend of mine I used to work with called Mark. So we went off on a honeymoon. We went to beautiful Italy for a week. And again, everything was going along fantastically well. So about day 3 into the honeymoon, we were sat on a lovely beach enjoying the sunny weather. Excuse me. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, James accused me of having a relationship, an affair with this guy called Mark. And he called me all the names under the sun. I won't mention any here this morning, it's too early. But again, my heart was in my mouth, and I thought, you know what, we're exactly back to square one. Nothing has changed. So we went home and things continued the way they were. So I tried to leave that relationship on several occasions. Every time I tried to go, James wouldn't let me leave. He was very apologetic, he wouldn't let me go, he said things would be different soon. Incidentally, the most high-risk time for someone to be abused is when they leave a relationship. Why? Because that person is losing control of you. Within that relationship, there's a lot of control that goes on. So when you do attempt to leave, that person is kind of feeling like they're losing control of you at that point. In this country alone, 2 women a week are killed as a result of domestic abuse relationships. So those stats are very high, scarily high. And when I did try to leave, James was being very manipulative. He was saying things like you couldn't do better and those kind of things. So finally I did manage to leave. I went 40 minutes down the road to my mum's house, and I did get a sense of relief, but had I really left? No, not really. James was phoning, he was texting, he was turning up at my mum's. I couldn't escape, really. So I was still holding down the stressful job. I was still managing to go into work and deal with what I had to deal with there. And one day a friend said to me, now I'd not told too many people about what was going on. I'd only told a couple of close friends about what was going on because I felt a lot of shame and guilt around this. I thought a lot of this was my fault. So a close friend had said to me, look, I know about a really good therapist, why don't you go and see him? So I thought about this, but all these thoughts went through my head. Well, it's nut jobs that see therapists. It's cranks that see therapists. It's people with mental health problems that see therapists. But she told me how good he was, so I thought, well, I'll book in to see him. But equally, it was all this stuff I was thinking about. You know, I'm a strong, independent female. Why do I need to go and talk to some bloke about my problems? I can deal with my own stuff myself. Nevertheless, I booked in to see him the following week, the end of the day after work. But all that week, James was being ultra nice. He said he'd turned a corner, things had changed. So the day had come that I was due to see the therapist, and I was about to start work, and James contacted me and he said, look, he said, I've turned a corner, can we meet later? But I couldn't arrange to deal with anything. I had to get on with my working day, and I wanted to cancel the therapist really, but I just had no time. So I got on with the day, and it was a typical day in the probation office. I had to send someone back to prison. I had to deal with an abusive alcoholic during a supervision session. I had a family member kicking off down the phone at me regarding an offender of mine. And right at the end of my working day, I had an hour's session with a paedophile. Now, this wasn't a session I generally looked forward to. I had a lot of sex offenders on my caseload at that time. This sex offender was very typical to a lot of others that I worked with. He was in a lot of denial. But I had to challenge this man on his deepest, darkest sexual thoughts and feelings. I couldn't just talk about the weather. Some probation officers did, I think, but I had to manage this guy's risk. I had to manage public protection. So this wasn't really a session that I looked forward to. The end of that, I just felt drained. I went back up to my desk and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to cancel this therapist. I'll go and meet James instead. And then my mobile went, it was James. And he was shouting down the phone, I'm outside your mum's, I'm going to get the fucking dog. Put the phone down, ran into the toilet, I cried my eyes out. Now he essentially was threatening me to suggest that he was outside my mum's and he was going to get my dog. Now that would have just tore me apart. That dog had been there with me through thick and thin. My friend came in after me, she said, Janine, you need to phone the police. Anyway, he contacted me a bit later, it was all idle threats like usual. So I remember leaving work that day, I looked at the building and I just thought, you know what, I can't face this job for one more day. I can't face my life for another day. I drove to see this therapist, really anxious. I got there, I probably cried for about 2 hours. But afterwards I did feel a bit better, so that was good. And then as the session came to a close, we were finishing up, and Eamon, this man's name was, Eamon said to me, he said, can I just say you've said one word today about 20 times? So he said, you've said the word try. And I couldn't work out what he was getting at, but I'll explain to you what he told me. So I was going round my life saying, I'll try and do this, I'll try and do that, I'll try and do the other. So I was effectively giving myself an excuse not to do something. Okay. And secondly, my confidence was on the floor at that time. So when we're saying certain things to ourselves, if I was saying, I'll try and do whatever, I was giving myself an excuse. Okay. So the example Eamon gave me, I'll give you now. If I said to you, I'll meet you for a coffee tonight at 6 o'clock, or I'll try and meet you for a coffee tonight at 6, what does that mean? It essentially means that I'm probably not going to get there, a better offer will come along, I'll make an excuse, I'll be there really late at best. So, and it also means that we've got a subconscious program running. As I say, my confidence was very low at that time. So this is twofold. So Eamon was explaining all this to me and a light bulb really went off in my head. Now at that time, sorry, just changed my settings. At that time, it was my intention to go to the doctors first thing on the Monday morning after the weekend, just to see if I could get some time off to speak to him. So Eamon said to me, you know, what are your plans now? I said, well, I'm going to relax over the weekend and then on Monday I'm going to try. And I could feel the word try about to fall out my mouth and he just looked at me. And I said, okay, on Monday I'm going to go to the doctors, I'm going to... And I believe now with that firm intention, if we hadn't had that conversation, I wouldn't have gone to the doctors. I probably would have gone back to work, I probably would have gone back to Justin. But I believe after that conversation, I had that firm intention to go to the doctors on that Monday morning, which is what I did. I had that firm intention that I needed to go there, which is, I spoke to the doctor, he gave me some time off. And then exactly a week later, I was stepping off a plane, about to embark on a 3-week solo trip around Vietnam. And then exactly a day after that, I was stood on my veranda of my beach bungalow and I was literally on the beach and I was looking out onto the ocean and I could hear the sea and I could feel the sun on my face. And for the first time in years, I felt free. I felt completely free. I felt I completely walked right back into my life there and then. And the point I want to make just at this time is no matter how low you get, you can always bounce back. Trust me, you can. So what was to follow was the most amazing 3 weeks around Vietnam. I met the most wonderful people, I explored the most amazing places, and right there and then I walked right back into my life. So I did come home, and I carried on seeing Eamon, and my view of a therapist completely changed. He taught me all these skills and strategies and techniques that completely changed my life. And I did go back to the day job, and I finally left that job. I went off travelling again. I went all around South America for a couple of months. Bit of a travel theme here. Still love to travel. And when I came back, I set up my own business, and that's where I am now. I'm proud to say Eamon is in his 70s now. He's my supervisor, my mentor, my friend. He's amazing. And I absolutely love what I do. I'm so passionate about working with people and seeing massive changes. And I just want to leave and finish today's talk with a couple of points. I want you to have a think today. Go away and spend some time. Have a think about what is that word or those words that you say to yourself. What are those words in your internal dialogue? It could be try, it could be something else. And have a think about what that means to you. What excuses are you giving to yourself? Because the reason I was saying I'll try and do stuff the whole time is because I was maybe fearing failure, or fearing not pushing myself out my boundaries, or fearing not doing something. Life is a decision, okay? I often say to clients, we walk around in a load of BS. We're walking around in a big snooze. We're walking around half asleep. Just have a look. Be aware of what you say to yourself. Have awareness of your thoughts, okay? And I want you today just to have a real think about that and have a firm intention to make a change. Make some firm changes in your life today. Not tomorrow or the day after, but today. And don't try to change it, obviously, but please make that firm intention to change that today. Okay, so that is the end of my foresight. Thank you so much for joining me, people. And I've seen some of the comments there. Joe, yeah, Eamon is freaking awesome. And I'm just looking at time, okay, because I'm going to finish off with a few things from here. So thank you so much for watching my foresight. I appreciate everyone that's engaged today. I appreciate all the comments, all the shares, I really do. And I'm going to connect with those comments, and I'm going to message people later on as well. Do keep those comments coming in. As I said then, I've not had a chance to properly look, but I will reply later, and I'll raise any questions that have been, I'll answer any questions that have been raised, and I will get back to as many as you today. I'm going to spend some time sending messages, so please don't hesitate to contact me directly if you need to as well. Any issues that have come up, anything that's resonated with you, again, please do speak to me. You can message me, I can speak to you today, that's no problem whatsoever, because I know a lot will have come up for people today. Okay. So 4NTV Live, of course, is back here at the same time next week, 8:30 AM on Saturday, the 5th of August, when you can join the wonderful Steve Saunders with a foresight titled, Wonder Why You Click. So make sure you join in then, and we have even more Facebook Live coming up too. Join 4N's network leader, Michael Nagels, back here at 4 PM on Friday for the weekly roundup. He'll have a mix of news, announcements and waffling nonsense. Easy for me to say, it's actually on here, that's why I said it. So you won't want to miss any of that, obviously. And there's also the new 4 Development Live video presentations, providing great tips on how to develop your networking skills. These are running fortnightly on Wednesday evenings, 8:30 till 9 PM. On Wednesday, the 2nd of August, we have the fantastic Claire Russell. She's very active within the 4 networking community with a 4 Development Live presentation titled Growing Your Profile with a 4N Membership. If you would like to take the opportunity to present an episode of 4N TV Live or 4N Development, then please message 4N on this network community page. You need to message well in advance, folks. I think I booked this about a year ago. So they are free, of course, to take part, but they are just open to Passport 4N members. Slots are already booked up, as I just mentioned. So do get your requests in now for 2020. No, not that late, 2018 or something. Fabulous. So this 4N TV live episode will continue to be available to view anytime here. So please do share and add more comments. That's it from me. I hope you enjoyed 4N TV live from me. Have a fantastic weekend. I've got an amazing weekend planned. What are all you doing? And as I said before, please do share this. If I can support or benefit or inspire one person out there, or lots of people, then I have done my job today. Anyone that's heard this may resonate with what I've said. And as I said before, if anything's come up for you and you need to speak to me directly or you need to message me, I will be available today. I'd happily speak to you regarding any of that, okay? So thanks again. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for everything that's come in. Thank you, guys, and I shall check in with those comments right now and have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Lots of love. Bye now.